Silence.
Girl, you so beautiful.
I just love listening to this. Inside, and I don't want you to think I just want your body. I want you. You know what? This is another one of these ones that will probably get the shit banned, or they're gonna send me some fucking email. I don't remember what it says. And I feel like they think they're softening the blow by saying your video is not going to be taken down. It's just blocked in some countries. And then just when you think that's the email you're getting, then the next one is like, we just took your shit down. Like they want you to be cocky. They want you to think that you can play the songs and that they're not going to come take the shit down. But they do. And they're going to come for that one too. It's okay. Inside. This is going to be a very short show because I got to go to the Mariners game tonight. It's the first time. I lived here for 6 years, and I've never been to a Seattle Mariners game or a Storm game. At jobs that I've worked, I've sent groups of children to go watch the Seattle Storm play, and I didn't get to go on those field trips. That always bummed me out, because I'm a big Sue Bird fan. I've had a crush on Sue Bird since I was a kid. I already know what her setup is. No one needs to tell me. I'm telling you how I have felt about Sue Bird since I was a kid, and she can hoop. And that was the biggest thing. It's like when I was growing up, I'm like, oh my God, I just know that I'm going to end up with a hooper, right? Because I'm a hooper. Apparently, you have to be a good hooper to end up with a hooper. Anyway, me, not so great. I have been killing in this league, though. Let's make that clear. Seattle apparently can't get their shit straight, so we're about to scale back phases. That means that the league is probably over. Let me just, off memory, I'm going to give you my averages. And I'm not exaggerating. This is probably accurate. I probably was about 20 and 10, 6 assists, half of a steal, 0.3 of a block on the season. Again, not great numbers, but I'm still getting into the swing of things. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been gassed every single week. My cardio is terrible. It is clear that my eating habits still have not changed really for the better. Every now and again, I'll eat great, and then I spend the next 5 days eating. Like, I might as well just go to the buffet every night if I'm going to treat my body this way, because I feel like I get more bang for my buck. But I haven't been to a buffet since about 2016. And I've told this story on the show before. I went to this Chinese buffet that's up north. Like where is it? It's up on Aurora Avenue or near Aurora Avenue. Some Chinese buffet. When I walked in there, it was like a sauna. Like it really was. It was like foggy, a little bit steamy. Not an ideal setup for a buffet. Everything felt really sticky and wet, and it's not supposed to fucking feel like that in a restaurant. And I remember I remember thinking it was so funny. Obviously, I think it's funny. And the person I was with was so disgusted. And that's funny to me because in that moment, I realized that up until that point, I have probably been one of the more disgusting people on the planet when it comes to food choices. Because I used to treat my body like shit. And you could do that when you were an athlete because you're just going to go play basketball or play whatever sport and you're going to run this shit off. And now that I'm old and fat, it doesn't work that way. So I got to stop treating my body like a landfill and treat it more like a temple. Yeah, that's wise words, ain't it? That sounded wise, right? Put it on a t-shirt, man. We need merch. I'm here to announce that there are going to be some changes to the show. Good changes, though. But now, listen, what I always do is I give it about 30 30 something episodes, and then we switch it up. Because why not? We're just testing everything. Every day is just a test to see if you can get better. And if shit just doesn't go right, then we'll go back to whatever else was working before. But throughout the course of the week, the changes will be mentioned. I want to get it. I want to rewrite it on paper and brainstorm and make sure it works. Because, sometimes, you be in a really good sleep and then you wake up with like 5 good ideas. And you're like, oh shit, these ideas is hot. And then you like trying too quick and don't none of that shit be working. we're not trying to be in a space like that. So, yeah. Mariners game tonight. We do talk sports on this show. Are the Mariners terrible? I don't know. Do I really care? No, I do not. Yes, I was a Mariners fan as a kid just because they had certain players that I liked. And most people, because I know that this is just a joke. They're not racist, but listen, they stereotype me and be like, oh, yeah, you must have liked Ken Griffey Jr., didn't you? Because I'm black. And yeah, but no, motherfucker, I liked other people too, more than him. And those people weren't black. It was Edgar Martinez. And I like Randy Johnson. He was a former pitcher for the Mariners. And then you had, what's Cuddy's name? Jay Bruce played on this team out here, didn't he? Who else? Damn, what's Cuddy's name? I just be forgetting names so damn much. I got to stop being on that stuff, man. Just weed. I know sometimes you use the wrong slang and then people think that you got a problem and they want to try to send you to a center. That's not happening. But anyway, been a fan of the Mariners. It wasn't just Ken Griffey Jr. Obviously, A-Rod was on the team back in the day when A-Rod was actually a good all-around baseball player. His best years were in Seattle. A lot of people don't realize that because most people now at this point really only know A-Rod as the nigga that fumbled the bag with J-Lo. They forget about his illustrious career out in Seattle in his first few years with the Yankees. After that, it's anybody's guess what the fuck he was doing. Being an idiot. But yeah, man, I hope things go well for the Mariners this year. The one thing I do know about them is they are now officially the only team to have never gone to the World Series. And that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing for y'all. For y'all. Not for me. I know I've been out here for 6 years, but it's not for me. It's for y'all. This is embarrassing for y'all. Okay? Okay. It would be crazy, though, if they, pulled off the unthinkable. You remember when, I remember, all the jokes about the Cubs, because for them, it was, 100 years plus that they had not gone to the World Series. And, I used to feel bad because I had friends who were, lifelong Cubs fans, and you'll make those jokes to them, and it was they really were taking it to heart. I know that there are some friendships that probably ended because I made jokes about the Cubs being trash because they really felt that pain of being nowhere close to being in a World Series. And when it get to where it's 100 years, my nigga, oh my God, 100 years. So when they finally won the World Series a few years ago, for those people, that when you hear people say, oh, it was better than sex, and you'd be like, yeah, right, nigga. For people in those situations, that probably was that. I can imagine the same thing to be true for Mariners fans. If they ever get to the point where they're, positioned to go to and potentially win a World Series, these people are going to be out. They're going to be outside of their mind. I couldn't think of anything funny to say in that moment because, listen, we all fuck up sometimes. I'm not always funny. But I really do believe that the fans will go crazy. It's going to be a great thing. I'm wondering what tonight is going to be like. Don't worry, I'm going to have my mask on because the one thing I'm not going to do is walk away from this one-time experience with fucking COVID. That's not happening. So be sure to mask up. I don't have much more than that, man. I just came to announce that there will be changes to the show. And welcome back. It's good for me to be back. I've missed doing this. I took the week off. People were like, oh, my God, are you okay? Yes, man. Sometimes it's okay just to be like, I'm cool on this for a little bit and just go recharge yourself, refresh, come back with a new attitude. If you had watched those last 5 or 6 episodes that I was doing, you would be able to see what I was seeing was that I was starting to turn up. So what I've started to do now, which is a part of this whole growth thing, and as you mature and you get better, is you actually start to become more self-aware and you recognize it before it happens. So you know what I did? I said, no, nigga, no. Go sit your ass down, shut the hell up, cool off, and then you can come back in a week. Until then, again, shut your ass up and chill out. And it works. So I think you all should try it, man. You should start to be able to recognize the signs within yourself when you feel like you're about, not maybe about to lose it, but maybe just a little bit too much in a moment. If you can sense that, you can probably prevent a whole lot of crazy shit from happening. And I really feel like I spared myself probably potential embarrassment. Probably I avoided having to potentially mend fences with people over mistakes that I may have made due to my poor behavior and shitty fucking attitude. Nigga, this is what growth feels like. I'm telling you, man. Go get your help. It's worth it. Because you get to this point, and you know what's crazy? There's still so much to be learned. I'm only in the basic part of it. I've barely been a part of it. And I'm already seeing results. It's like a good weight loss pill, which there are none of. I tried those too. Anyway. Steph is in the chat. Shout out to Steph. Steph says, nah, you're officially a Washingtonian. No. Yeah. Okay, I like that. But I will never ever say that I'm a full legit Mariners fan. I got hella hats up there. All the Mariners hats that I had, I can give those away, man. Y'all can have those. Color schemes don't work well with my eyes. And like the length of my lashes, all that type of stuff. This doesn't work for me. So I won't be a Kraken fan. I won't be a Mariner fan. The Storm again. Shout out to Sue Bird and shout out to Megan too. I love y'all. Y'all look great. Y'all want to come on the show? What's up? I have no problem having y'all on the show so I can be like, listen, Sue, if things would have been different, here's how it would have went. 17-year-old me was ready. I would have been on one knee, and it would have probably been because I had just rolled one of my ankles. But either way, here's how it would have gone. I'll profess my love for Sue Bird. But anyway, man, let me get out of here and let me stop playing. Yeah, I wish they had the Sonics back. I do wish that. And that's just good for basketball. I miss the days of Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, and then you had the Ray Allens. We had KD out here. That was one of my hopes coming out here. Is I was hoping that within the first 5 to 10 years of me being out here, that they would eventually get their basketball team back. So hopefully that still happens. We in year 6. It hasn't happened yet, but I hope that it does happen. Because could you imagine? You got Mariners, Seahawks. It's cracking. The Storm. Who else we got? The Rainiers. I mean, they're popping down in deep ass Tacoma, but still popping. The Sounders be out here winning championships. Did I say the Seahawks? They all right. I've been to hella of those games, and that shit was fun. And I see how, like, people tell me all the time, they're like, oh my God, you been to a Seahawks game? There are still some people who live there their entire lives and have never been to these events. And I apologize for ever taking that for granted, because I went to tons of those games, and because I'm a Bills fan, it just was okay for me. I like watching my man play and catch passes and doing his thing, and he ended up becoming an all-time great. Hopefully he's going to go to the Hall of Fame, maybe if he's lucky. But other than that, I always took those experiences for granted. Don't take these experiences for granted. That's why I'm going to the baseball game tonight. You know what? I'm out of here. I'll see y'all next week. How does my beard look? Leave comments. Like and subscribe. Send us all your friends. Let them know your boy is back like Jordan.